Hey folks, I'm Frederick Van Johnson. Welcome back to another video that we're recording here at Portrait Masters 2019 in sunny Phoenix, Arizona. I'm here with Craig Swanson. He's one of the guys behind this conference. He's the guy behind the levers, pulling strings backstage and making things happen. Put a little oil on the gears and all that.
Secret guy behind the scenes.
Yeah, you're the guy behind the guy.
I'm the guy behind the guy now. Actually, the guy behind the team.
Yes.
So
I want to talk about that. You have a really interesting pedigree in Silicon Valley and online education and distance learning. That's kind of where you've hung a lot of your hat on, right?
Yeah.
So can you talk about that a little bit? Like, what's your lineage leading up to where you are now?
Well, I mean, most people in the photo industry know me because I am the co-founder of Creative Live.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. It is the one thing on my resume that I can say to pretty much anyone that holds a camera and say, hey, you know who Creative Live is? I'm the guy that started that.
Yeah.
Creative Live, the business model and the concept and all the inner workings of what we originally launched, what I originally launched with Chase, that all grew out of kind of a backroom project that I was doing at my previous company.
Really?
And so Creative Live has gone on to, it's got a huge team, made a huge impact. Sue Bryce was on the Creative Live stage in, was it 2011 or 2012?
I remember when she went on the stage. I was in the virtual audience.
Absolutely. And so now, leap forward to today. George Varenakis, Aaron Anderson, and myself have partnered with Sue Bryce. George and Aaron and I worked at Creative Live and were basically a big part of that.
Yeah.
And we basically have partnered with Sue Bryce to build out Sue Bryce Education.
Yeah.
And now the next kind of phase of building that out with Sue is the Portrait Masters. And the short version is Sue Bryce Education is for everything that Sue Bryce teaches. And the Portrait Masters is both an education platform for other photographers to basically be able to share what they've got. So hand-picked by Sue. And also this conference, which is, I think one of the best conferences in the photo industry.
It is, and I want to congratulate you on that. This is my first time here. I came here kind of green, not knowing what to expect here, and open-minded, obviously. But I knew the names associated with it, so I expected a certain level of quality, obviously. But getting here, it has the sort of aura of what a next generation conference should be, sort of weaving in the distance learning, weaving in the community, weaving in the certification pieces of it. The crowd, I think, was the most impressive thing to me in terms of just you have people crying in the audience during these keynotes and running on stage and shaking, it was like an emotional experience for a lot of these people, which I think transcends the whole idea of, hey, vendor A has a booth space, go buy their stuff, and here's a class on f-stop and shutter speeds. It's a level deeper than that. Is that what you guys were going for, or did that just sort of manifest on its own?
I think both is true. It has to manifest on its own.
Yeah.
So first of all, we're a little bit like a gardener. We're a gardener of a community. The thing is, it is the communities. All the people that are here, they're what make this thing real. They're what make this thing exist.
Yeah.
George, Aaron, Sue, and I, and this crew could come in, fly into Phoenix, do everything we're doing. And if these people don't show up, and if they don't bring who they are and what they are here to create for themselves, this is just a futile exercise.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is we need to give the space for that to happen, and to honor them and to give them space to be able to create something for themselves, and then to see if we can surface that and bring it out so it multiplies. So that one person in the audience sees another person being brave and being able to reach for what they want, and they feel encouraged to take their own step, and it becomes this domino of engagement where people are becoming more brave because they're in a community of other people that are being brave. And at kind of the cusp, at the tip of that is Sue, who is one of the things that Sue brings to everything that she creates is she is brave in creating her own life, and her audience really knows and has a chance to see her develop.
Yeah.
And
I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've known Sue for quite a long time, and I've seen her progression. And I've interviewed her several times on This Week in Photo, so I know, and the audience probably know if they've seen that. They know some of the trials and tribulations that she's gone through, and the struggles and the successes. And seeing her on stage is, it's kind of an illustration of success, and what perseverance does. So that's interesting. So where the conference is now, this is the third one. This is number 3, 2019. I'm assuming there's going to be a number 4.
There's a lease for 2020.
There you go.
Which is not public at this moment.
Yes.
But, by the time this video is released,
it will be public. So you give foreshadowing for you, people that have time machines, right? So any changes? Do you see any changes that you'd like to improve on, do less of, more of?
So first of all, every year we've gotten better. So this year, I'm just blown away by what this team's put together.
Yeah.
I was going through for the first day of registration. So registration used to be something that happened at the end of the day before the conference started. And it has evolved into this amazing experience where basically people show up and they're immediately ushered into an opportunity to be able to start shooting in custom bays, or they have custom headshots and makeup artists, and we have portfolio review. And I think that registration is something that we're going to see evolve and get refined. It was amazing this year, and our team was already making notes on kind of some of the points of tension where it could be a little bit smoother.
Sure.
And this year I walk around. It's like this is a perfected version of last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just amazed.
It's a machine. Yeah.
I'm amazed at how good our team has been at learning and improving. Now that said, we've got a list of things for
Of course.
next year.
I mean, there's always room for improvement. What I found interesting about the registration process was, and innovative, was the fact that you guys took that, what, like you said, is normally an end of day mundane sort of, let me get in there, let me stand in line, get my badge. Oh, you don't have me listed, can you try this spelling of my name? Whatever, you get your badge and maybe some goodies or whatever, and then you go about your day. You guys decided to put a box around that and make that into an event. There were shooting bays from Fuji. You had makeup artists in there. You had photographers doing headshots in there. There was a step and repeat wall for people to do shots. There's portfolio review. All that stuff at registration.
You know what? If we just did the registration day I think could stand alone as an own event.
A lot of conferences or events have just what that was. That is fantastic. And the speakers have been fantastic. I've had the opportunity to interview a number of them.
And also that's a big challenge too, because now Joel Grimes spoke at the first conference that we put on. But outside of that, Sue does not want to repeat speakers as much as she can. So basically, each year is a challenge for her and for us, and basically it's her and George to put together a slate of speakers that she is really excited about, that they're really excited about. And it's not the same names.
It's a brand new lineup, is for the most part.
I guess the one thing we should also talk about is we have the demo stage.
Yes, tell me about the demo stage.
Which is this entirely separate conference that's happening, that's being live streamed everywhere. It's happening over in the trade show.
Wow.
And we invited back probably about 10 speakers from the previous 2 years to that. So it's almost like, we've got effectively 3 big events happening. We've got registration, which turned into its whole standalone event. We have the conference itself, and then we have the trade show, which has an entirely separate live stream conference happening for the demo stage.
So you have an overall conference, like an egg with 2 yolks, right? So you have an overall conference, and then event one.
Egg with 2 yolks, okay.
I'm an analogy, man. Come on.
Is that appetizer? Do you want that egg?
Poached, please. I like it poached. I love it. Well, cool. This is awesome. So the keynotes have been fantastic. And was it intentional to have? Well, obviously it was intentional, but you've made them 2 hours long and split them in half. So the first half is sort of lecture style, encouragement, excitement, etc., etc. And then the second half, you get to see that speaker actually press the shutter button.
So it's important. This is a shooting. This is a shooting conference. So every speaker is shooting to some degree. I'm not sure if Sue is. Sue's got something special planned for the end.
Oh, interesting.
And yes, so I mean, the other thing is, we come from kind of a history of being able to go deeper and having a lot more things. So we wanted to give the speakers enough room to really be able to explore something.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so wrapping up here, you've built some impressive brands, right? You're the guy, like we said, you're the guy behind the guy.
Yes. For me, I really focus on building impressive businesses and impressive business models, and a lot of times those business models can be transferred between brands.
Oh,
so
interesting.
usually, it's like Sue Bryce has built the brand. I built the model.
Okay, so building impressive business models. What's the next impressive business model that Craig Swanson has his sights set on? What can you tell me?
We'll have another conversation around that.
All right, we will talk.
I mean,
That's a little foreshadowing, by the way.
You know what? Look, I know exactly what the answer is.
Yes.
And a lot of the players you've seen today are involved.
Yes.
But not for this conversation.
Yes, you hear that? You hear that? That is Silicon Valley knowledge talking to me there. I love it. Craig Swanson, thank you, man.
very much.
I appreciate it. Is there any place online where you like people to go to? I mean, you're like I said, you're like, the man behind everything.
So, I mean, right, theportraitmasters.com and SueBryceEducation.com is the primary place to go.
Okay. We can't talk about anything else yet. See? All right, man. Have a good rest of your show. We're at the halfway mark, roughly, three quarters?
This is only, I guess we're ending, the end of today will be about halfway through. So we're about halfway through today.
Yeah, love it. All right, Craig Swanson, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, folks, we'll see you in the next video.